So one of you left a comment, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago in one of my videos, and you said something like, can you make a video where you're speaking 100% not in Spanish, 100% in English? And I was like a little bit hesitant at first because I thought the majority of people who watch my channel are beginners and intermediate students. So if I make a video that's 100% in English, then I wonder if they will watch it, right? So I was going like back and forth, and then I thought, okay, well, why not, right? I haven't made a video. That's something that I realized this morning. I haven't made a video 100% in English since the conception of my channel. Isn't that a little bit ironic? Like, it's called Mejora tu speaking, and yet there's no video where I'm speaking English the whole time. So the reason I'm making this video is, number one, because not only do I want to make the video just because, I think that the main reason I want to make this video in English is just for you to... So we're going to talk about a topic. The topic is time management. But at the same time, I think that this is beneficial to you, not only because it helps you with your listening skills, but also because I think that... so this is the way I learned. I learned not only... Like when I learned with my English coaches, I not only learned about the language, but also learned from listening to them. Like I basically copied a lot of the phrases they say. So phrases, words, not like plagiarism, right? Like I'm not recommending people to copy me, but some phrases, some words, I've noticed this, it's really hard to use them when my brain is operating in Spanish. So if I speak in English the whole time, these words come out naturally because I've already planted them in my brain. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments, because I think that the main purpose is that you not only practice your listening, but also pay attention to the words and phrases. And at some point, I will be explaining why I'm using this or this word or these phrases. Sorry, I made a mistake there. This or this word. Okay, that sounds good. But then I said this or these phrases. I meant these or these phrases because I was thinking about them in the plural. So yeah, that's one thing. That's one detail. And this is exactly the kind of practice that I want to have with you. Like, I want to go over the topic in English, but if I think about something that can be useful to you, or I make a mistake, then I will correct myself, and then I'll explain why, so that you can not only hear the correction, but also why, right? And maybe like if I had not mentioned this, if I hadn't said, "Oh, I made a mistake there," you would have probably not noticed it. But this is the fun part of speaking English, that even if you don't notice it, I will make it noticeable so that you can learn from it, right? Learn from my mistakes. So, So let's do it. Let's do a little recap. I will be speaking English the whole time. Excuse my voice. It may sound a little hoarse. I think I'm getting a little bit sick, but I'm not sure. So, in English, you can say, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, right? I'm feeling a bit under the weather. It doesn't really make a lot of sense in Spanish. Me siento un poquito por debajo del clima. It doesn't make sense, right? But in English, it does. Like, that's super common, right? So anyway, I will be speaking in English the whole time. You can feel free to leave your questions or comments in the comment section, and let's start. So the main topic that I wanted to share with you, this is something that I shared with my students last night. As you probably know, I am a private teacher also. This is not my main job. My main job is web design, but I do like to teach English and speaking. So that's my, let's call it my second job. So yesterday or last night, actually, we were talking about time management, and you probably know. Okay, I spoke quite slowly in this sentence. I said you probably know. This is not really normal. It's more normal to say you probably know. Okay, so you have the word probably, but you can reduce it to probably. All right, doesn't that sound prettier? So yeah, you probably know about time management, money management, but basically what we talked about is that when you work, let's say one job or two jobs, even like in my case, there are a lot of things that you need to pay attention to at the same time. Sorry, I have to pause the video because the garbage truck is coming, and that's a little distracting to me. Hold on. Sorry for the interruption. It's just that in some areas of Mexico, when the garbage truck comes, there's a person announcing it with a very loud bell. They're shaking it. They're ringing a bell very loudly. But I mean, I understand why they do it, so that everyone knows to bring out their trash. And so, yeah, today was trash day. It's every Wednesday and Sunday. So yeah, anyway, so where was I? This is another phrase. I mean, this is a phrase that you can use. Where was I? Where was I? Right? It's just that I can't take this image away from me, because so I have a client. He lives in Switzerland, and the other day we were working and the garbage truck came, and he was like, "Are there cows by your house?" I was like, "Cows?" And I didn't really understand why he was asking me that, right? And I said, "No, we don't have cows. Like, there are no cows here. I mean, I live near the mountains, and yeah, there are some cows there, but I mean, they're not that close." And so I said, "No, why would you ask that?" And he was like, "Because I can hear bells." And I was like, "Oh, you mean, yeah, that's a garbage truck." That was a little bit, at that moment I felt a little bit embarrassed, but now that I think about it, I'm like, well, that's how it works, Yeah, I guess it could, or it should probably be different, but I mean, for now, it is what it is, right? So whatever. Anyway, we were talking about time management, and oh my God, it's what? 10 minutes already. Okay, I'll try to be brief. Remember, this is just an excuse for us to have more like an intimate conversation, a more private conversation in English. So I was talking to my students about how we manage our time and what we do, because in my case that I have two jobs, and not only the two jobs, but I also have my personal stuff going around. There are a lot of like meetings and activities and tasks that I have to plan and remember. That's the hardest part, right? So I tried using Google Calendar. Also, I have a planner, a paper planner. This is not really a planner. This is more like a notebook. But people use paper planners, right? And I remember when I told like last year I had a client. She is in Cyprus, the country Cyprus, and then when we were planning our next meeting, I said, okay, let me just write it down. And she was like, do you use like paper planners? I'm like, yeah. She was like, wow, okay, that's surprising to me, because like she's so used to not using physical stuff anymore. She's more like digitalized. Everything is digital with her. So yeah, but as I was saying, by the way, planner, the word planner, because this is something that my students, I noticed that they were like, how do you say agenda in English? And I had already mentioned the word planner, and I said, well, agenda, you say planner. They're like, oh, okay, that makes like they made that connection, right? But yeah, like at first sight, if you see the word planner, the word agenda doesn't come to your mind, right? And I remember that also at some point they mentioned the word agenda in Spanish. Is it also agenda in English? And I was like, and the thing is, if you have this question also, see it this way. Agenda, the notebook, this is a planner. But if it's, oh my God, I just noticed, let me show you. Because I also so I have the notebook, right? Then my planner, and I also have this one, like my, like it's one sheet per month, September, October. So, so I guess I use 3 things to plan my days, the paper planner, the calendar, and also the digital ones. So yeah, agenda is the paper thing, right? But if you see the word agenda in English, that's more like a list of things that you need to go over. Like, for example, when you go to a meeting with, let's say, your team and your boss and the supervisors, I don't know, a work meeting, the agenda is the list of things that you will talk about during that meeting. So that's the agenda. It's not really something physical. It's just the checklist, let's call it. So that's agenda, but agenda is planner. Okay. So yeah, I use the calendar, I use the planner, and I also so I've been testing a lot of tools. One is, of course, Google Calendar. I still use it, but I like to use it only for like recurring stuff, like my classes, for example, right? The ones that I teach and the ones that I take. Because it sends you reminders, notifications, right? But for like more, or actually less recurring tasks. Hold on, I have to sneeze. All right. Sorry, I had to sneeze. That's a difficult word to pronounce sometimes because it has a z at the end. So it's not sneeze, it's sneeze. So I said, hold on, I have to sneeze. And but I was saying that Google Calendar is more for like recurring things, but for more unexpected or non-recurring things, I have been using different tools. One is Notion, because it's almost like a cult. If you use Notion, you probably know what I'm talking about, right? See that? Did you see that I said probably? You probably know that you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So Notion is more like, it's a very powerful tool, but in my case, I don't really like, to me, it feels like almost unnecessary because yeah, it's a very powerful tool, but for a lot of the things that it can help you do, I already have other tools. So I actually subscribed to the yearly plan last year. And so far, I only use it for like a couple of things. It's not really that useful to me. I know that a lot of people love it and they plan, like their lives are so organized thanks to Notion, but that's not my case. So I use it for only a couple of things. And then the other one that I've been using is voicenotes.ai. No, wait, it's voicenotes.com. That one is, I think it's a tool that I was missing in my life, in my work life, because you basically record yourself. Like right now, like I'm actually recording it right now, recording this video, because it not only records your voice, but also creates like a summary. You can create like a lot of things from the recording. Oh, and one thing that I have that I really love about it is not only the fact that you can talk into it, right? But it detects what language you're speaking. So that was like the biggest problem in my life whenever I had to like do any transcription from my videos, because you had to set it up like, okay, am I speaking English or Spanish? You have to set that up before you do the transcription, because otherwise it will like it only takes one language at a time. And with voice notes, it's so smart because I can switch between languages and it detects very accurately what I'm saying. So I think I found the tool that I needed. And also like it's got a lot of AI features built into it. So again, like it gives you if you're talking about like the things that you have to do for the day, then you can ask it at the end of your recording to show you like the list of tasks that you have to do, right? So that's a lot of like, it's a lot of work to like, I can't imagine myself going over my recording, listen to it again, and then, okay, so it's this task and then this task. No, but if you tell AI, you tell the app to create the checklist for you, it's like 3 seconds, right? It creates blog posts, so it's very smart. I really like it. I'm really liking it a lot. Yeah, I subscribe to their yearly plan. If you want to explore it, I think they do. Yeah, they let you use the free plan for like, I think it's forever for free. But you can only record 5 minutes into, like, you can only create 5-minute recordings. But if you purchase the yearly plan, if you subscribe to their yearly plan, you get unlimited time, unlimited recordings. It's like everything is unlimited, right? So I'm really, really liking it. It's almost like you can also use it as a journal. You know what a journal is? Like a diary. So yeah, that's the tool that I'm exploring recently, and I'm really, really liking it. If you wanna try it out, I will leave my affiliate link in the description, because if you buy it using my link, then I get a small commission. I'm not doing it just because I want the commission, you know, it's like a very small one, but I really like it. And all right, I think that's the only thing that I wanted to mention about productivity. Okay, We also talked about the Pareto principle, but that's like a whole different story. It's a longer. I think that I can talk about this in another video because it's a pretty in-depth conversation. I'm looking at my notes from my class from yesterday, but I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, one thing that I can mention as well is that when you're in Zoom, because we have our lessons over Zoom, when you're in Zoom, sometimes, like I made a video about what phrases to use when you're using Zoom, but in that video, I didn't mention these two. When the connection is unstable, you may see the other person lagging, like their screen is like, right? And then at some point, if the connection is really, really unstable, at some point you will see that they're like completely static, right? In that case, you can say, oh, you froze, right? You froze, like ice. You can say, oh, you froze. And then the connection gets stable, right? Again, and then you can tell them, oh, you're back, right? So you froze and you're back. Hold on, I have to blow my nose. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I think that's all I wanted to mention for this video. Let me know in the comments if you found this useful, or if you would prefer that I go back to Spanish explanations. But honestly, like if I'm being honest with you, I don't know why, but I feel super, super comfortable speaking English with you like this. Like, no, not really a specific topic. It's more private, right? Like we're talking like one-to-one, right? Like a private lesson. I find that more like super useful. I think it's because it's the way I learned. Because with my coaches, yeah, we learned this way. Basically, it was basically no visuals, no graphs. It was just a conversation, right? So that's very helpful. I really like that system. And that's the other reason why the other reason I think this is super useful is because when I talk about like a specific topic, especially like a pronunciation topic, to me, I mean, I like talking about all these things, but at the same time, I feel like I'm only looking at like, if I were to describe a person, I would only be describing the arm or the leg, like I'm not really helping you see the whole body because I'm only focusing on one thing. And I remember my coach, she has this phrase that's called, she says that she uses it for different things, right? But basically she says it's a web of associations. And I really like this phrase because that's how I'm starting to, I guess I always saw it this way. Excuse me, but I resisted. I resisted somehow. But in essence, everything is connected. Like pronunciation is connected to grammar, and that is connected to writing, and that is connected to American culture. So everything is like a sphere, And if I only talk about a specific topic and I don't go away, if I don't get away from that topic, I stay with it, that's not really helpful. Like something in my heart tells me that it's better to talk about a lot of things that are mildly related, but they are related nonetheless, you know? Anyway, okay, let me know what you think about this. And if you like these videos, let me know and I will make more, right? Okay, have a great day and take care. See you next time.